What's the problem?
I can't lie!
The Marxist is the world's worst creature. Truly. And this has been proven. I can show you 100 million bodies this last century that prove that the only impediment to a Marxist in power is, well, how many people can they kill? How many of their political enemies can they massacre? And I do not want that to be America. I do not want that to be our country. I don't want the Marxists to gain power here. I want us to live in a peaceful and happy country. I want the people that I deeply disagree with politically, people that I cannot stand politically. I don't ever want harm to befall them. That is the difference between us and them. I wish for them to live peaceful, happy lives. The end. All right. I will disagree with them. And that is the Marx difference. And you can see it in Biden and in Karine Jean-Pierre, along with Hillary Clinton last night, continually calling Donald Trump a threat. They've hardwired their people. I can't believe Burchett talking about MK Ultra. They've hardwired their people into saying Donald Trump is not human. They dehumanize them. Who wouldn't want to kill baby Hitler, right? Yeah. Here we go.
Every leader, national leader, or any leader in this country should be calling out political violence and bringing the country together, not dividing it.
Just to be clear, just to clarify, so You're saying that the president and vice president believe that former President Donald Trump should be toning down his rhetoric?
So I'll say this. President Biden has been clear-eyed about the threat that the former president represents to our democracy.
It's been only 2 days since somebody allegedly tried to kill Donald Trump again. And you're here at the podium in the White House briefing room calling him a threat. How many more assassination attempts on Donald Trump until the president and the vice president and you pick a different word to describe Trump other than threat?
Peter, if anything from this administration, I actually completely disagree with the premise of your question, the question that you're asking. It is also incredibly dangerous in the way that you're asking it.
Call Donald Trump Hitler. Say he needs to be eliminated. Say he needs a target on his back. Some Democrats have gone out. Stacey Plaskett's the one. We'll name drop it. Stacey Plaskett. She's a fake representative from the Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands. She straight up said Trump deserves to be shot. She said it. She said it on TV. We should shoot Trump. She said it. She corrects herself, right? But what's the implication here? And Karine Jean-Pierre, after all of this, Karine Jean-Pierre comes out and says, I'm the victim. It's me. You're the one who's threatening me. You can't argue with this. You can't argue with the Marxists. Do we have those numbers? Pop them up. You can't argue with the Marxists. This is what they're capable of. Maybe we should do this every single show. This is what you are voting against. Hey, MAGA, you're voting against this. This is the body count. China, USSR, Cambodia, North Korea, Africa, Afghanistan, Vietnam. This is the body count for communists. You can see soaring into the 100 million mark of a stack of bodies of people who prevented communists from coming to power. They see you as they don't just see you as their political enemy. They see you as not, if you disagree with them, then you're not worthy of life. And they've proven this again and again and again. This is why you must prevent the communists from taking power. We are slightly encouraged by some pretty remarkable moments that have been happening. We played you, Cringe getting fact-checked there. Chris Cuomo here on CNN. Dude, what does this say when CNN has rolled the cars back on their biggest hoax? Arguably the biggest hoax pulled on Donald Trump this year in ALX. You can tell me if you agree with this or not in the chat, but because we watch every single Trump speech. The biggest hoax is that Donald Trump said there's going to be a bloodbath if he's elected. Well, maybe let's get the reference clip just so that you can see it. You've seen it before. Donald Trump says in a speech, and he's in Michigan, he says, hey, if I'm not elected, there's going to be a bloodbath in the auto industry. They're going to get rid of your jobs and ship them down to Mexico like they've been doing by the hundreds of thousands. We were just in Detroit. We've actually heard a bunch of people tell us these stories. We saw the wreckage. The entire city is abandoned. It used to be the fastest growing city in the world, actually, 100 years ago. Now it's gone. So Trump's telling the truth. Now, what that was spun into is Trump says there's going to be a bloodbath if he's not elected. It's amazing how the people who are committing all the political violence has to seize on hoaxes in order to get their narratives out. CNN of all people. CNN of all people. Oh, do we have the Trump bloodbath full? Yep. Okay. Here, I'll play you this, and then I'll play you something remarkable. CNN's now checking this as a hoax. CNN live on air now checking. CNN employees are now saying this is a hoax. Do not say that Donald Trump called for a bloodbath. Here's Trump's original comments.
You know, Mexico has taken over a period of 30 years, 34% of the automobile manufacturing business in our country. Think of it. Went to Mexico. China now is building a couple of massive plants where they're going to build the cars in Mexico and they think that they're going to sell those cars into the United States with no tax at the border. Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. No, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole, that's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it. But they're not going to sell those cars. They're building massive factories. A friend of mine.
So there you go. There's the full context of the clip. CNN and everybody else runs with the hoax that Donald Trump says, if you don't elect me, there's going to be a bloodbath. And now on CNN, they're fact-checking that. We'll take the small victories. Ladies and gentlemen, they're very salty on CNN about it. This is our Salt That Lib for the day. The CNN getting harshly fact-checked by their own employees live on air. Get those salt shakers moving, okay? Got them, baby. Get that sodium. The crying libs need extra sodium because of their salty tears. Fill the comment section with salt, please. Salt That Lib for the day. CNN getting fact-checked on the bloodbath hoax.
I mean, the underpinning of her campaign, I mean, she repeats it herself. Trump will be a dictator on day one. I mean, this country fights dictators. That's what our history is. We fight dictators.
Didn't he say that?
He'll be a dictator.
Those were his words.
There'll be a bloodbath. There'll be a bloodbath.
Say that there would be a bloodbath?
He wants to terminate the U.S. Constitution.
She didn't say that there would be
the first thing she said, which was true, and the second thing
it is said by every Democrat working for or around her campaign every day on this network and every other one. The bloodbath thing is stated every single day.
Okay, let me
But my point is, dictator, bloodbath, eliminate Constitution.
Hold on.
What do you think that does?
Let's just clear this up. You're referring to Trump's use of the word bloodbath when he was talking.
And what was he talking about?
I'm going to explain it to people because I think there's confusion about this. Use of the word bloodbath when he was talking about, vehicle manufacturing jobs in the United States. Vice President Harris improperly and unfairly mischaracterized that as him saying there would be a bloodbath if he were elected. However, she did not say that if Trump were elected, there would be a bloodbath. She did not say that.
I know you have interviewed and had people out here and have watched the same coverage I have. The bloodbath garbage is a pillar of the Democratic campaign against Trump, as is dictator, as is eliminate the U.S. Constitution.
Dictator stuff is true.
Do you feel the need to?
But if I told you all that about somebody, you would say
Trump
maybe
is
this
doing, which is to sort of blame Democrats instead of saying, oh yeah, maybe actually both of these guys are screwing up.
I feel
which
the
is
need,
sort of what I think the rest of us are saying.
I feel the need to tell you all tonight that we can't even talk about the rhetoric moving forward because it's too late.
No,
so many people,
big
for
thing to say.
Trump, it's too late. He can't even go outside. So many people have already been radicalized by this.
Isn't it amazing having this 5-on-1 cage match at CNN? The guy's name's Scott Jennings. He's a CNN employee, and he does a great job arguing there. And the moderator fact checks and says, "Yo, that's right. Trump was just talking about the auto industry. It's a good thing. We'll take the small victories. We'll take the small victories."